Hello, Lewis Black here. And before I start my rantcast, I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be hitting the road. That's right. I'm going to be back out on tour, and it all begins in Victoria, Canada. Check out the website, lewisblack.com. Please come out and join me. And if you hear this announcement, tell others. Tell them to go to lewisblack.com if they're fans, or even if they're not fans and they're looking for something to do. Point it out to them. And you tell someone, and then they'll tell someone, and then they'll tell someone. And by the time it gets to the last person, they'll show up in another city that I won't even be performing at. And I hope that they enjoy whatever show they see at that theater. I'll be back in a moment with the Rantcast. Look, let's face it, there's a lot of stuff that I hate in this world. I mean, it's why you listen to this podcast, right? Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. But I know one thing that everybody hates, and that's bad sleep. I mean, maybe you're lying in bed just trying to get to sleep in the first place, or maybe you're a hot sleeper, so you're waking up dripping in sweat. Whew, that's why I'm glad to partner with GhostBed. They're a family-owned company, and they've been around for 20 years, so they know what they're doing. They just don't slap together mattresses like some of these other companies. No, they actually take the time to make a high-quality, made-in-the-USA mattress that's going to help you get the sleep you deserve, and it's going to last. If you're a hot sleeper, you'll want to check out the GhostBed Luxe, which is dubbed the coolest mattress in the world. Try out your mattress for 101 nights with their sleep trial. Shipping is free, and most orders ship within 24 hours of checking out. Listeners can get 40% off all products site-wide. You can get 40% off mattresses, adjustable bases, and bedding accessories, or get 50% off when you bundle a mattress with an adjustable base. Use promo code Lewis, Lewis, at ghostbed.com/Lewis for 40% off site-wide. Limited time only. This could all go horribly wrong at any minute. Hello and welcome to the 148th episode of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled The Real World. Actually, it's entitled The Real World is Just Like High School, only there are more places to eat. And that was the title I'd love to use, but we can't fit it on something, or somehow the title can't be that long. I don't know how you can't have a long title. I don't understand it. The logistics, the mechanics of all this are beyond me. It's just enough for me to be able to sit here in my public my public access bunker and talk to you. This is as far as I can go, and without makeup and no wardrobe advice. And who's doing hair? But the real world is just like high school, and there are more places to eat. And it was an old joke of mine that I love, and it becomes really truer by the day. I mean, look at all you got to do is look at the way in which we handle Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, or Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. They're literally like high school, walking down the hallway. Oh, they're seeing each other. God, look at them. Da. First comes love, first comes marriage, then comes the baby carriage. I mean, come on, please grow the fuck up, right? We know that they're seeing each other. There doesn't need to be this whole kind of thing of like, oh, they went there and they did this and they did that. This is a high school on a level. It's beyond high school. We didn't even do that there. It's stupefying. That, and then you can, and I mean, what grade are we in? Do we not get past puberty as a nation? The Travis Kelce and see Taylor Swift, I bet they're having sex. I can't believe he's had sex. Please, Lauren Boebert getting, felt up in a movie theater while watching Beetlejuice, and then are we serious? And smoking? I mean, that's high school to the 12th degree. Oh boy, they're feeling her up. They're feeling her up. They're touching her kid. They're touching her kitty. And then it's really, but she's doing, that's about as high school as it gets, Lauren. And you're a congresswoman. Please. Well, I'm having trouble getting over my divorce, and I'm not acting as mature. You're acting like you're 15, all right? Mature might be, we're leaving now. And then she was giving shit to people around her, and smoking. Wow. Wowie, wow. Boy, it feels like high school. I'll tell you that because it feels like when I was in high school, the '60s. Now with this war in Israel now, that adds a touch to things, and I won't be going into that because I literally just came off the tour, and then it was smacked us all in the face, and but just to say that that was something I lived through in the '60s. Israel was at war. I went actually one of the first trips I took after the 7-day war. I was in Italy. I was coming from Palermo, I believe, with friends, maybe Naples. I can't remember precisely. Going to visit my friend Ray and with my friends Ed and Cliff, coming on a boat, going to Tunis, Tunisia. His dad was working there as a for USAID, an Agency for International Development. Real opportunity during the summer. Lucky enough to be able to do it. I'd saved money up. You could still go to Europe on $5 a day. Going to go visit our friend. Literally, only Americans on board. 2 of us Jewish, 1 Catholic, and it's the start of the 6-day war. We're floating along, and the rest of the boat is Arabs going to Tunis. That really, at the time, we kind of like, this is a little. It was freaky to us in that sense, and with the war on, and we arrived in Tunis that day, and the largest population, I believe, that was outside of Israel, they all fled Tunis, and they fled Tunisia. I mean, that day, fled it. So me and my friend Ed, at the time, it was the 12,000, I think, Jews had fled, maybe more, and me and my friend Ed were the Jews to enter Tunis while all of our brethren were splitting. So I had a bit of a flashback of that this week, and I will probably talk about this more at some other time. But there's a real sense that I'm going through. We're going through that again. I'm going through my high school years. People are fighting to make sure that there's people are fighting for their rights as voters. People are fighting against gerrymandering, which was strong at that point too. People are fighting against, there's about slavery and how it should be taught and banning books. I mean, the whole thing is it's literally, I'm in high school and the real world is just like high school. Only there are more places to eat. And as I once said, more asses to kiss. And it is the weirdest and strangest of times. I said that last week that things get crazier by the minute, but I did not expect something like this. I meant for us here. I meant after that, after they kicked McCarthy out, another very high school thing. We get him out of there because one person could do it. And so they got him out at a time in which now we're going back to the Israel thing. We need to make certain decisions, Congress does, and unable to do it, unable to operate. As a matter of fact, in terms of the real world being like high school, at least in high school, we could continue to operate as a functional student government. This is lunacy, utter lunacy. And now they're voting. We're not involved with it. I'm certainly not. Scalise appears to be it, and Jim Jordan, who really is the only man I know who makes Ron DeSantis look charismatic. It's extraordinary that this is going on, and I can't get over it. You just hope they pick somebody, and Tommy Tuberville is making it impossible once again. And I've said it last week. It doesn't end. It's endless nonsense. This should have been, should have been dealt with by the Republicans themselves. Okay. Sorry. He's left holes in positions that desperately need someone to take the position in our military, all because he's got his his agenda. His agenda as a football coach turned leader. Please, please, please. A football coach turned senator. How does that even fucking happen? And I mean it. How does that fucking happen? And one thing, so the Republicans now, you got this war going on. I said I wasn't going to talk much, but my God, you got this war going on. And the Republicans go, well, part of the problem is because the Biden administration gave $6 billion to Iran. Look, and Iran that's the reason that is what empowered Hamas to, look, the $6 billion, just drop it as an issue, please. Okay? Yeah, but it frees up. I don't give a fuck. All right? It's the $6 billion. It was done for humanitarian reasons, and it was on the table, and that's what had to be done, and that's what that money was about. And I think we have to stop this throwing stones. Not at this point in time, guys. We have to, as Archie Bell and the Drells said, I think it was them who said, tighten up. And we better tighten up because we can't be doing this. Just get a grip on it, all right? Do we need to deal with Iran? Okay, let's deal with Iran. Focus, fuckers. You've got the attention span of high school students. We had more attention span than these idiots who are leading us. Meanwhile, I got back to Vegas again, and I have to say it is out of control, really out of control. And it took over an hour and 15 minutes or so to get from the airport to what was a 20-minute drive, 15 at best, 15 to get from the Mirage to the airport. But getting from the airport to the Mirage took an hour and 15. Ridiculous. There's traffic like I've never seen before, and a lot of the problem is apparently about the F1 race that's coming up. But it was there when I went to see when I did the Bert Kreischer thing. It's unbelievable. They just kept building and building and building, and at no point, not even that I can fathom, did they actually say, hey, maybe we should think out this traffic thing before we start building like this. Maybe we might want to put in a remarkable rapid transit system so we can put a lot of these tourists on and get them whipping around to these casinos and really enjoying it and having fun and making it easy. And it's not anymore. And it's, and to walk, when it is, a chunk of the year, 4 or 5 months, it is hot as fuck out there. And the casino I was at, the Mirage, which is transitioning from being the Mirage, which I think was MGM, to the Hard Rock, is now like a generic casino. And it just was not in, I'm sure once the Hard Rock takes over, and as it was in the Mirage, was the Mirage, it'll be great. But right now, ludicrous. I mean, wow, like nothing I'd ever seen. It was really I can only say generic, and that's what I got for it. It was like this is what a casino should minimally have. We have a Japanese restaurant, but it's not something we've heard of. They did have a Colicchio restaurant. I did not know it was him. But I mean, all of the things that seem to have occurred at these other casinos are now lost there. And there are a billion casinos, and literally, it just seems like they keep building stuff because it's like they're an addict for people, is what they are. They're a people addict. So they build the Sphere where U2 was playing, and it's really unbelievable, and we've never seen anything like it. Most extraordinary concert experience. Blah, 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 blah. So now they've got that, and so the T-Mobile, where I worked with Bert Kreischer, massive massive performance spaces. Besides all of the performance spaces at the casino, so people just to keep people pouring in, because that's what makes Vegas go. And that they got out of the pandemic and then just kept, now they're like, okay, we're going to keep pumping folks in here. Let me mainline it. Let me mainline some more people like nothing I've ever seen. And as I said there, you build these places, and they've now jammed shit into every fucking corner, every cranny, every nook imaginable, and so that anywhere you walk out of wherever you walk into, they want money from you, and so be it. It is the city of Vegas is not as much fun as it used to be. Maybe I missed something. But I have to say, I used to love going there, and met my friends there, and we had a great time. But I don't know about going back. I might just to hang, just to see if it's better, but didn't feel like it. It really didn't feel like it, which was too bad. There are still places I'd like to revisit, and hopefully I will. And but they've really got to get a grip on moving people around. If you're going to be mainlining people, move them. Okay. I also had a really great time in the bar restaurant called the Lion's Share. We were doing a show in Escondido, which means hidden. And we it was a really fun show. And afterwards, we're going back to San Diego, and is always looking for something to eat. I'd gone online and found this restaurant that seemed to have, good reviews and all of that. But just to want to get something to eat, and the menu was really interesting. And I'll be sending out some stuff about that later on, and we'll be going into it. But we got there. It was Ben and I, my tour manager, and it was just terrific. It was really quite something, and I couldn't get over it. I know this. There's things I would tell you that I don't want to listen to you yell about it, but there was some food on that menu that was just tremendous. Well, they had a wild boar ragu that the chef really knocked it out of the park. I mean, I've eaten wild boar ragu. This was unbelievable. It was extraordinary, to be honest. And I would say it was one of the best pasta dishes I've eaten in this country. Certainly didn't expect to find it in San Diego in a dive bar that wasn't an Italian restaurant. And they called it a dive bar, but there was nothing divey about it. It was like a pleasure. The staff was terrific. Really made us feel at home. It wasn't just us. They seemed to spend time with everybody. It seems to be like a clubhouse rather than a dive bar. And people would say, "What are you doing here?" And I'd go, "I've just read about it." And I'd go, "Wow." And it was like a really great secret. And I'm letting it out now. But if you happen to find yourself in San Diego, and there's some really great places to eat, let me tell you. But the Lion's Share is a great place to go spend some time. And if you want to a great bartender with a drink list that was incredible. And you go, "What is this? What is this? What is this?" It's one of those drink lists. And you try it and you go, "Fuck, I wish I could make this at home, but I could never find this stuff." They really gave a shit about what they were doing, and they really gave a shit about making their customers feel welcome and at home, and that their main drive seemed to be that they wanted you to have a good time. And oysters with a coconut curry, grilled oysters with a coconut curry sauce, not a heavy sauce, but just mind blown. It was, but I'll go into these later on, and in some individual videos. That'll be something I look forward to sharing with you. I'm going to wrap this up shortly because it has been it was kind of a long week. I did 7 podcasts, and that was really just before when I was in LA last week, and that's a lot of podcasts, and they were a lot of fun. But it truly, after doing 9 shows, then you kind of end the run with 7 podcasts and some more shows. Knocked me out a little. So I hope I've been up to snuff for you. And I want to read you something, a few things here, as I always do, to leave you with this. And before I go, to let you know, once again, this week we will be in Reading, Pennsylvania, at the Santander. I say that. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that. Then up to Rochester at the Kodak, down to Utica, I'm not sure the name of it, in the West Hampton on Sunday. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that's this week. Join us there if you can get the opportunity. The week after, Cleveland and Cincinnati. And that should be both be a lot of fun. Then on to Knoxville. Please check out the website. Please join me. I've got an important announcement coming up shortly you'll be hearing from me about the restaurant and the important announcement. But let's leave it off with this. Robot waiters are apparently losing their jobs to other robots. So see, there's a fight among artificial intelligence already. This is happening, at least it turns out, in South Korea. We are worried that cheap Chinese robots are dominating our market. One robotics executive told the Financial Times, it's difficult to compete with them on prices. So the South Korean robots, they're too pricey. Whether they do the job or not. The Chinese robots, meanwhile, are collecting information about right off your phone, off your personal data. You can be assured of that. And so I'm surprised they allowed the Chinese robots in. But when they're cheaper, you've got to use them, I guess. After being in the incredible lion's share, that place is destroyed, literally destroyed, if they have robots serving you. That shit's got to stop. Seriously. Okay? You're not saving money and you're not helping us. And we grow further and further and further the fuck apart. Okay? Certain things need to be left in place. Hospitality is not a robot. Hospitality it's not. I was trying to come up, but I couldn't. Taking one of the great quotations and putting in hospitality and robot, but I couldn't think of it fast enough. And we've got to wrap this up. 2 librarians are suing the small town of Sterling, Kansas, claiming they were fired for displaying rainbow-colored autism acceptance signs. Okay, they were rainbow-colored. They were not about transgender LGBTQ. They were about autism acceptance. Carrie Wheeler and Brandy Lancaster say officials mistook the signs, one of which was captioned, "We all think differently," which is what a trauma. What a traumatic statement, which is for we all think differently. They thought this was for pro-LGBTQ material. One city employee said the display made her sick to her stomach. Grow the fuck up. Okay? Grow the fuck up. All right? It's not going away. Okay? LGBTQ is not leaving. It is a part of us. They are a part of us. They are a part of humanity and have been since the Bible was written. Good God. Really? A sign made you sick? Then something is fucking wrong with you. And I mean that. All right? It said autism acceptance sign. Did you miss that? Could you not read? Was that not there? I bet it was there. Wheeler removed the signs, but she and Lancaster were later fired, having lost the library board's confidence. Oh, come on. The real world's just like high school. Only there are more places to eat, more asses to kiss, and more idiots than anyone could imagine. Thank you for spending time with me. Thanks for everyone who sent in the rants, and I will try to get as many done as I possibly can. I hope you enjoy it, really. And I deeply appreciate you spending time with me. I truly do. It's a privilege and a pleasure to spend it with you. Take care. Nobody, and I mean nobody, likes waking up and feeling like crap. I mean, with GhostBed, you don't need to worry about that. At GhostBed, you'll find made in the USA mattresses with premium materials and backed by 20 to 25-year warranties. Plus, take 101 nights to break it in with their sleep trial. Listeners can get 40% off all products site-wide. You can get 40% off mattresses, adjustable bases, and bedding accessories. Or get 50% off when you bundle a mattress with an adjustable base. Use promo code LEWIS at ghostbed.com/Lewis for 40% off site-wide. Limited time only. From Heather Cruz. My submissions are usually more letters to Lou than rants, but while I was at work today, outside watering mum plants, I heard somebody say this sentence. Yes, he had slaves, but he treated them well. I'll repeat that. Yes, he had slaves, but he treated them well. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't even know where to start with that, and I have to get back to work. There's so much wrong with that sentence. This is a job for Mr. Lewis Black. Also, I should have paid some more attention to National Punctuation Day. Thanks again. No, thank you, Heather. And good when you pick up something like that to get it out into the system and go, this is bullshit on a stick. Glad to share it with the world and glad to share it from you. And thanks. And thanks for your letters to Lou. Massa Queen, Make America Skankier Again, Boebert, blamed her public lewdness on the fact that her escort was a Democrat. This is old news, I know, Lewis, but it's been in there. They are being in my head, and I need to abort the embolism. I can't, though. That part of my brain that generates coherent thoughts is just flapping its lips, and nothing is coming out. Back to you. Back to you, Billy Rogacki. Thanks for that rant. I appreciate it. Never too late for a good rant, Billy. And we hadn't had one because I was catching up with the ones that we had to catch up with, and I'd done already. Yours is one of the first new ones I've hit. Thanks. From Davey Roadie Dave Mensch, or Mwench, M-U-E-N-C-H. I guess it's Mensch. That's the way I would say it. Sorry if I screwed that up. Folks, when you have a name and I might screw it up, give me a version of it, so that a translation of it so that I can get it out there properly. Lewis, I'd like to take this moment to rant about my best friend. She's amazing, fucking amazing. We started off dating, but I ended up in the proverbial friend zone. No, I'm not spending my time pining after the one who got away from the proximity of her rear end. No, we are great together. She's smart as hell. We like the same things. We thoroughly enjoy our time together. And being best friends of the opposite sex, we regularly annoy the shit out of our significant others. She is very attractive, and she tells me I'm quite the looker myself. Problem is, and we've talked about this, is that she only dates idiots. And I'm no idiot. Meanwhile, I have a savior complex with a kink for the bug nutty, and she is neither insane nor in need of my services. We simply get along, like the two old Muppets in the balcony, heckling the rest of the world. Other people, strangers even, say we are such a great couple. When are we getting married? Do we have kids? Fuck! She's getting over her latest failed outing with a lead-brained Sturgis dweller, and I'm still being stalked by a girl I found at the bottom of a box of Cocoa Puffs. Do I need to brain myself with a tack hammer to get her attention, or what? We're going on a cruise together in February, and I don't know if I can survive 4 days at sea, sharing a cabin together, keeping my genie in the fucking bottle. How do I turn this around? We might be seeing you in Colorado just before then. I'll introduce you. Help me, Lewis. That, or if you have a semi-schizophrenic merch girl and a roadie with a taste for paint chips, maybe you could introduce us. They might not be the ones we need, but we know what we're good at. Thanks, Dave from Denver. I don't know if you came out, Dave. If you had, I wish you'd introduce me. If you're both in that cabin, good luck. Good luck. I hope it works out for you both. Really, I hope let me know if this was the step forward, or if you met whoever was doing the series of children's, marionette plays, and whoever it is that she ran into. I can't even think. That's God. A schizophrenic merch girl, semi-schizophrenic, and a roadie with a taste for paint chips. Well done. Well done, David. This comes to us from Louis Geigerman. It's not really a rant. It's a tribute to one of my favorite ball players. Louis, knowing how much you love the Baltimore Orioles, I know that you must have shed a tear for the passing of Mr. Oriole, Brooks Robinson. I remember marveling at his incredible talent as a teenager during the 1970 World Series against the Cincinnati Reds and the Big Red Machine and all of Cincinnati's future Hall of Famers. The Reds couldn't get a ball past him on the AstroTurf. The announcer, Kurt Gowdy, constantly poured on the accolades of his prowess. He was so good that they nicknamed him the human vacuum cleaner because he got to every ball. He was so gifted with a superb hand-to-eye coordination that it is hard to imagine that he was a bit of a klutz when he was a child. Sheer determination drove him to make himself the 16-time Gold Glove third baseman that he ultimately became. He was an incredible athlete that will always be remembered by those who played with and against him, as well as the millions of fans that were entertained by his athleticism. He became the quintessential mold of the modern third baseman. Baseball has lost an icon in Brooks. R.I.P. Rest in peace, Brooks Robinson. Rest in peace. He was spectacular. If you get a chance, I imagine you can track footage of him down on YouTube, or he was something to watch. One of the reasons I got into baseball and why I started rooting for the Orioles over the Washington Senators, who betrayed me not once, not twice, but then tried to bring back this fake team that we now have in Washington called the Nationals. I know people say that I'm supposed to root for them, but they're wrong. They're wrong. Thank you, Louis. Thanks for reminding the audience out there about Brooks. I appreciate it. Thanks to all of you for listening to my rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Louis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me. Louis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcast.